Talking about them rake knives. R-U-I-K-E. Rake. Get raked over the coals. And you know what? This is the 108-TZ. You're going, hey, you've already reviewed the P108. No, this is the M108. This is Mr. Fancy Boy. 154 cm blade, titanium frame lock, ultra luxurious model. And yeah, it's like 120 bucks, 119.95, 99.99, whatever, you know, it's like $120. Come on, just say it. Damn it. We'll take this apart later, but yeah, I mean, the regular 108 is the P108, steel frame, 14C 28N blade, but it's a knife you could carry, use, toss around, whatever. You ain't got no money in it, really. But this one, you're going to have a little bit of money in it. Even after discount on White Mountain, you're into, what, 107, something like that delivered. So, yeah, it's over 100 bucks. Really nice action, though. And it feels light. It feels light. Centered, no blade play, no lock rock, and fidget addictive. Really is. I mean, look at that. Look at that drop. This thing, yeah, I'd say the 108 is probably not my ultra favorite rake knife. I'd say the P121. And then, of course, now they make the M121, which I will report on when I get it back from testing because I sent it in. But it's titanium, and it's S35VN blade. And yes, it's more expensive than 120 bucks, like 140 something. But that's like one of my favorites of all time. But this 875 from Rike is really, I love this design. I don't know, this might climb up over the 121 on me. And this one is like 124 bucks. It's N690. So like what, 112 delivered after discount. But wow, titanium, really light, under 4 ounces, 3.85 ounces. Just super duper, love it. And that's fidget friendly too. But let's get back to the M108, star of the show. Yes, we'll take it apart, take a look inside. The lanyard area for striking as well, right? Such a useful knife. Little choil area up front here for sharpening. Useful blade, piercing, slicing. Jimped flipper tab. There's your lockup. That's 50%. That's pretty strong. And then you get the slide lock out. Some of you guys don't like this, but really, I don't like the roto lock because that keeps toggling back and forth and around and around. I hate that crap. But this, no, this is nice. And this is not rattling or anything. But I guess you could probably take it off if you want. I mean, it's got a screw there, so I guess you could do that. Pocket clip, deep carry, right hand only. 2 screws on that. Milled area in there. Keep it secured. Not going anywhere. I like it. Ergos are good. Reverse carry, good. Nothing wrong with any of that. Let's see how fat this sucker is. Put it out here. Not bad. 0.45 of an inch. Under about 11.5 what millimeters. 0.11, what do we got? 3 millimeter blade stock. Okay. So, not real heavy blade stock. That's fine. Fairly slender here. About the same as the Paramilitary 2. That's good too. Oh, let's throw it on the scale. Okay, grams. 110, that's pretty good. I'll bet it. Is that under 4? Is 110 under 4 ounces? Hold on. Just a skosh, though. 3.89. So basically 3.9 ounces. So it's under 4 ounces. I think the P108 probably a little heavier than that because it's steel. So I'll put that down here because I don't know off the top of my head. And I don't have a P108 108. Unfortunately, I mean, really, these rake knives, I never end up with one somehow. I always got like my Best Tech G10 stuff laying around all over the damn place, you know, and then my G10 Tuyaknife, Cebu, and all that, and Bruiser, etc., etc. But I never end up with like a P121 in the G10 or any of these 108, etc. Weird. But we got a few now. I mean, I got a little 865 here. You seen those with the blue and the black G10? Talk about a nice little box cutter here. Kind of like that CRKT, the CEO. You know, that's just a little pocket gent knife. Look at that. Look at the shine on that edge and that thing. That is sharp out of the box, my friends. That is sharp out of the box. Hey, come to think of it, give me a piece of paper. Come here. Oh, baby. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Paper's jumping out of the way on this one, so that is really sharp out of the box. That is a sharp little sucker. 154 cm. Well, they got that baby all razored up. Let me see. Come here now. Now that I'm looking at my 865. Whoa, not far behind. Actually, that 108, P108, a little sharper than this 861, which is, come here. Yeah, this 865, not quite, 865, not quite as sharp, but it's pretty sharp. It's pretty sharp. You could probably strop that out since this is 14C28N. Some of these other steels are a little tougher to just strop because they're harder. But this one wouldn't be. This one's already sharp enough. That's killer. And the drop on that is nice. And it gets over the detent ball early, so it's got a lot of fidget factor to it. Comfortable in the hand. Ergos, like I said, reverse grip. Lanyard hole, striking. It's hard to find a lot of fault with this knife. There's no jimping up here, I guess, so if that's a big deal. But there's jimping on the flipper tab. Detent is appropriate. Really nice thing, just boop, just kicks right out. Just, wow, that is smooth. That's smooth deployment. But I can fail it. I can fail about any knife if I really try hard enough. Let me see if I can throw this out. Okay, yes. Yeah, it's not all that strong, a detent. Let's call it somewhere between a 4 and a 5, more closer to the 4 than the 5, so 4.5, split the difference maybe. Not real strong detent, but really a lazy flip will kick it right out. It feels so smooth. Probably be more appropriate for this detent to be on a knife where you can finger flick or thumb flick it. But as a flipper tab only, it would have been nice to have a little stronger detent on it. But I'm not going to bitch and moan too bad about that because it is smooth. It just, that's nice. I mean, that's nice. No, it's not snappy necessarily. But, because it's not holding that long. But wow, I don't know. I'm going to have to look at those bearings. Whatever it is, sometimes just a combination of factors on a knife just all come together and it just happens to be really smooth to deploy and fidget friendly, and this is one of them. And it's not my favorite rake design, but wow, it's, oh, look at that, it just follows you around. Almost don't even have to give it any gumption to complete that drop. That's just beautiful. Woo! We like it. Not a real small knife, 3.5, a little over 3.5, 90 millimeters, 8 inches overall, unless you're going to get into the 8.25. Then, if you're going to bring the lanyard into play at about 21 21 centimeters. Wow. So, kind of your typical EDC mid-size carry knife. Definitely not calling it a large one, but it's not small. Well, let's see what she's got to say for herself. We got a number 8. We got a number 6. You think that'll be enough? Let's hope so. I guess we'll go from the pocket clip side and proceed thusly. Regardless of really whether we needed to take this off to disassemble the knife or not, I have a feeling that one screw came through here. Had to because of this. Number 8 on the pivot, shall we? Yes, of course. And it's not spinning. Of course, there's no access to the front there, right, boys? So always pray that somehow you're not going to spin that pivot. Okay, so here we go. So another little attempt to keep the pivot screw from backing out sometimes is to put a little synthetic rubberized washer there. Let me take a look here. Okay, we do have a D-shaped pivot, as you can see. So, of course, that's smart. I mean, not like Rike Knives is not doing things right. And there's their little Beta Lock Plus mechanism on the back side of here. Hardened steel insert. Of course, this lock thing acts as an over travel as well, so you don't have to have one here on your hardened steel insert, but you got an hardened steel insert there. Okay, and if you're going, well, where's the stainless washer here? Well, there's a steel washer right there. So it's on top of the bearings. Take that off. So we got little pieces, parts here. Let's take care of them. Okay. And then there's our bearings. And they're not ceramic, and I don't give a damn. They're kind of almost hate to change the lube in here. It was so fidget friendly. Damn. And there's the backside. Whatever that is, it's kind of looks like that kind of a thicker grease type thing on there. Well, let's just pull this sucker out. D-shaped pivot on the presentation side. Here's our bearings and the washer underneath. And so now we got it all torn apart. You can always pull this back spacer off if you want, like that. There's a little locator pin there. Screw goes through there. Okay, complete disassembly done, and we've got parts scattered wherever. Pocket clip way up there. Presentation side, lock bar side. Blade is not machined into here for the bearings. It's machined on these sides. Obviously, we have an internal blade stop. And there's our detent. No detent ramp or anything specifically. So there you go. And so if you want to put it back together, I'd start from the presentation side. I didn't pull this part out. It's screwed in from this side, and this first pocket clip screw goes in there and goes all the way through and attaches, etc. So there we go. There's our pivot on the front, and so we want to make sure and position the flat side of this pivot to where it'll line up with this, which is at the bottom. So we want to make sure that's going to go like that. Put our little washer on here, steel washer. set of bearings. And put a little bit of lubrication on here. And there we go. And away we go. Down here now, really want to put my backspacer back on here. We can do that on there. And then our little positioning pin. Right there. Okay. So we're good. Got to put some bearings. Again. Maybe a little lubrication. A little bit here in the detent and wherever that track's going to run. Washer. And at that point, I think we can introduce the top and put it right there. Pivot screw. And our number 8. Whoop, 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 whoop. Where's my little rubberized? There you go. Washer right there. Almost. And the one time that I found that I had been mistaken is when I accidentally thought I was mistaken. So I was really right. Okay, so we got a shorter screw for the pocket clip and a longer screw. So the shorter screw is going to go to the bottom because this is not going on through to the other side. The longer screw, and I didn't tighten that down because I'm going to put this in and get this cinched first. Okay, lead these through, and the longer screw will go meet up through there. This one right there. Okay, we're good. Are we centered? Sure looks like it. How much did I put on that blade? Well, there's no play. Okay, the action's pretty much the same. Thank God. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. You know, sometimes these are more fun than... I mean, this is not necessarily a budget knife, but sometimes these knives that are well under $150 to $200 and below. I mean, all these guys strutting around with $800, $900 knives, $600 knives, $1,200 knives. I just have a blast with the more budget-oriented knives. They're just fun, and I've had plenty of higher-end knives in my hand, and I get just as big a bunch of, really more enjoyment out of these. I can't remember the last time I had a knife that I thought was much better action and drop than this. Probably the Holt Spectre would be that. But, it's great when you got a little shooter for just a little over $100, $110, something like that, that gives you this kind of action. And nice materials, nice usable materials. Titanium, 154 cm as opposed to the Crucible, the CPM 154, but you talk to knife makers, they like 154 CM, so I'm not knocking that at all. And it's a true stainless, etc. Yeah, I'm liking it a lot. That's a good knife. I like that. The M108, yeah, TZ from Rike. It's really hard not to like a lot of these Rike knives. I really do. The little 865 is a fun little shooter. And I'll tell you what, this 875, man, that's a beautiful design there. And nice fidget-friendly knife as well with the N690 blade. The P1 or the M121, which is not in this picture, I'll be reporting on later, is out for testing, but S35 VN with titanium. And of course the P121 is, you know, the G10 liner lock. I love. It's probably my favorite Rike knife. But wow, it's going to be hard for that to stay on top with these new ones. Take care, my friends. I appreciate you stopping by. Love them knives. Reporting again, and we'll be back. You guys stay sharp.